Most of the Amazon business models are absolutely trash. So let me rank them for the normal working person. So the very first one, we got retail arbitrage. So with this one, I'm going to put this in D tier because with this, you have to pray that you find a good product in stores in order to resell on Amazon. Now, the downside to this is because there's not sustainable long term and it relies heavily on luck. So the second one, we got online arbitrage. So this one, I'm going to put it in the C tier because you're just buying discounted products online and then reselling them. So number one is extremely competitive, which very few people talk about. The more you scale, the smaller your profit margins become. And then number three, you're constantly looking for the next product, which means you're working two jobs. So number three, we've got wholesale. So this one, I'm going to put this in the C tier. This one is just simply buying bulk from a distributor. Some of them can be authorized and some of them cannot, but just buying in bulk. So this one, the more you buy, the better price you can get, and you're mainly competing on price. So essentially, whoever can buy more stock is usually going to be the winner. And with this one, you can buy a large amount of stock, and then there's a higher chance that you'll be price battling, which means that all of your stock just goes to waste, because there's no refunds as well. So number four, we got brand direct. So this one, I'm going to put this one in B tier because you're buying from a brand to get better margins and you cut out the middleman. So with wholesale, you had your margins slightly smaller because you have a wholesaler. Now with this one, you're cutting that person out and then going straight to the brand. Now the only downside to this is the brand can change their mind at any time. So the next one put in B tier is the vendor program. So the vendor program, how this one works is Amazon just directly buys from you and then you become their supplier. So now the downside to this one though is very hard to get into. So most of you don't even know about this. And the second thing is Amazon controls the prices. So one day you could be very profitable and one day you're not. So the very next one we got is unique bundles. So I'm actually going to put this one in B tier. So the way this one works is you combine a popular product like a Nike, let's say a rucksack, then you add your own pencil case to the bag and then you create that's as a bundle like that. Now the biggest downside to this is if the brand finds out what you're doing, you can be in a lot of trouble and then all of your stock is gone and all of that effort that you put into creating the listing could just vanish. So the very next one is brand exclusivity, and I'm actually going to put this one in A tier. You get an agreement from the brand to sell on Amazon. Now with this one, the downside to this one is after the agreement, there's a high chance you could be set back to square one, having to work with another brand. And then also, you're also building somebody else's brand. And then S tier, finally, we have private labels. So let's move that there. The reason private label is S tier is because you're creating your own brand. And the best bit about private labels, you have full control. You build the brand once and it can last forever. Whereas the other ones, you're constantly having to put the work in. And with this one, it requires very minimal time also. Whereas the other ones, it requires you to constantly show up. But this one, it requires very minimal time if you're working a job, remember. And with private label, there's so many benefits because you can span to platforms like Shopify, TikTok Shop, Etsy, or you can even go to different countries and sell your brand also. But just remember, all of these models on Amazon, they all make money, but there's only one real one that gives you ownership.